Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of The Memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant, Part 3, narrated by Peter Johnson. This work is copyrighted 1987 by Recorded Books, Incorporated. This is a book that has behind it its own good story. In 1884, Ulysses S. Grant was in his 60s and broke. His recent career as a railroad president and stockbroker had come to an abrupt halt when his brokerage business failed amid disastrous reports of illegal transactions. He was bankrupt and heavily in debt. Searching desperately for a way to support his family, he began negotiations with a publisher with the idea of writing a book, as had many Civil War veterans. By the late summer of 1884, Grant was close to a contract with the Century Company, when he was approached by his friend Mark Twain. This friendship, according to Grant's biographer, William McFeely, had always been seen as slightly bizarre. Clemens had once mocked the great general at a fancy testimonial ball by likening him to a baby trying to swallow its toe. But the two Midwesterners actually had much in common, including their disappointment in America as the promised land and a fear of their own gullibility in the hands of charlatans and fakes. Twain had just founded his own publishing house, in what he felt was self-defense against unscrupulous editors, for Huckleberry Finn, and, aghast at the paltry sum offered by Century, he suggested that Grant allow him to publish the memoirs. So, Ulysses S. Grant, in pencil on lined pads of paper, began writing, just as he learned he had cancer. He finished his 2 volumes in less than a year, completing them on July 14, 1885. 9 days later, he died. The last months he worked in incredible pain and under the influence of increasing doses of morphine, but sometimes managing to dictate up to 10,000 words a day. Reporters besieged his New York home, waiting for the inevitable word of the general's death. People stood outside sometimes for hours, as the dying man inside struggled to finish his book before the cancer defeated him. It was published with phenomenal success, selling twice as much as Huckleberry Finn and bringing ultimately to Julia, Grant's widow, almost $500,000. This portion of the Memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant takes us from his promotion to Lieutenant General, commanding all the armies of the Union in 1864, through the conclusion of the memoirs, which end with the close.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?